Wait, how did I die? What killed me?
Oh my god!
No way! No! Oh my gosh!
Triple G, he's the name on the scene. Goated with the sauce, living the dream. Let's get right action, he's the real deal. Streaming live now, making you feel. Triple G, he's the one we see. Goated with the sauce, bringing all the energy. Living, streaming, and out, you can't deny. Triple G, watch him rise and fly. From dusk till dawn, he's on the grind. Every single stream, blowing energy. Living, streaming, and out, you can't deny. Triple G, watch him rise and fly. So tune in now, don't miss a beat. Triple G's the legend, can't be beat. Streaming live, making history. Triple G.
All right, everybody, how's it going today? I'm gonna look a little different. I have my podcast in my face. I know, I can lick it. And we are excited today. You've got your host here, Triple G. We are, we have the respect and honor of the Chief Pickles here, and we hope he enjoys his stay with us as we try and respect and honor him as well.
It's a pretty fire
and-
intro. I like that.
Dude, fire intro, bro.
Throwing some respect on my name, man.
Put some respect. He deserves it. But we've got an amazing episode today. I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. I hope your Christmas was as amazing as mine, and that you got everything that you asked for. And that you get to have a happy new year as you kind of learn what 2025 has in store for us. Hopefully we aren't, 30 days in asking for a return.
So,
And hopefully 2025 actually feels like it slows down a little bit. We've had 4 years of what felt like everything has been moving so fast as we respond to a global crisis. So hopefully we're going to put that behind us and right, we can get the world off of its antidepressants, because I feel like we've been the whole world has been depressed the last 4 years. So hopefully we can turn that around and fix it here in 2025. If you guys are ready to chat, we've got a lot of news, a lot of headlines that have kind of come across this last week. In terms of, we're not going to expect an update to the game until season 2 hits, which is a very long time. Activision, all of those creators, devs, all those people are taking the Christmas season off. And it really feels like those guys deserve a lump of coal in their stockings for the storm that they have left us in. Some of the news that has recently come across is that cheaters are using the anti-cheat against players. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight in our episode, but it's kind of BS. We don't expect to see any new kind of content except for the switch back from the Christmas stuff at the end of this month, which is kind of them taking away content. It's not really them adding content, which doesn't make sense. It's the new year. We should be celebrating the new year with some good content. They might drop, a tracer pack or some kind of mastercraft pack to honor the new year. However, we're going to be sorely out of luck in terms of other types of new content. I don't know if they have any plans for a mid-season update, but a mid-season, I guess. Quarter 3.
3/4 season update.
Yeah, the 3/4 season update. I don't know if they have any plans with that. Because, they're all off on Christmas break, New Year's break, all of that stuff. They're celebrating. They're having champagne on yachts. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe spending time with their families.
Huh.
They should be spending
Imagine
time
having a
with their,
soft job.
Yeah, imagine having a soft job. And how they treat you, bro. Anyways, right, before we get into that too much, there's a lot of arguing and complaints out there right now of legitimate players feeling neglected and taken advantage of. Call of Duty is in a downward trend. I don't know if you're aware of this, but they are in the thick of it. So we've got those kinds of issues, and then to top it off, right? People aren't getting any of their any of their questions answered as of recently from the Activision dev team, any of that, because they're gone. So if you need help with your account, if you need customer support, you're kind of tough out of luck until the holiday season is over. Do you have any other news, Pickles, that I kind of cut out over, or?
No, I really think you covered it. Yeah, I've been seeing a couple just like YouTube videos of like, was Call of Duty going downhill? Call of Duty's going downhill. Goodbye anti-cheat. Hello cheater season, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Master 1931. This is a powerful message. I know. This is a very powerful message. Welcome into our Operation COD Talk. Grab your loadout, sit tight, and we'll jump out of the helicopter together, as we go over all this information here.
Yes, sir.
We're kind of upset right now about the fact that there's cheaters, it feels like almost everywhere, right? To top it off, too, not only is there a cheater problem, but it's also sometimes hard to discrep when you're playing at the level that me and Pickles play at. And there are levels that are higher than that. It's hard to determine whether or not somebody is legitimately cheating sometimes because of the level we play at. And so, somebody could look like they snap on you and get, just immediately beam you all headshots. And then you're like, oh, wait, could he? Right? You kind of have to go back into it sometimes and look at it in 0.25, and you're like, no, the guy made a good play. On his screen, it might not have looked like that, but what the server is showing me is kind of bullpucky, right? So we need to really, really be diligent here as a community as we move forward. Whether that means that we need to take some time off from Call of Duty, whether that means that we need to play it limitedly, it's up to each person individually, right? If whatever choice we make as a community, the devs who spent 4 years of their life on this, 4 years, they took 4 years of their life force and added it to this game. And we can say, oh, there's a bunch of bullpucky, it's kind of dog, it's this, it's that. But if we start voting with our time in this game, right, we can make them make changes. Because if nobody's playing the game and things are going downhill, then obviously they're going to want to make changes. So if you're a casual player, definitely, I might consider taking my time somewhere else for a short period of time until they fix things. Because as a casual player, running into more cheaters, or at least, situations that look like there are more cheaters, I could imagine that would be frustrating. However, if we take time as at the level that me and Pickles are playing and where we want to try and take this, we might just get off earlier in a night if all we're doing is running into cheaters, right? It's no fun playing a game that you can't win, right? If all you ever do is lose, you're going to get off. You're going to get burnt out, right? So we have got to take this time right now and appropriately choose where we want to take our time, because that is essentially our voting power, right? If everybody all of a sudden got off of Call of Duty like overnight, if we all just took a 24-hour sabbatical and nobody was playing the game, I am pretty sure, even though the devs are on holiday, they'd be called in immediately to find out whether or not, I don't know, something massive was wrong with the servers, or they would go in there and they'd have to start making checks, right? So we do have power. We do have the ability to vote on things, and it definitely will make a difference. We just can't do it alone. We have to do it together. I know. Asking the Call of Duty community to do something together that's next level. Is there anything that kind of frustrates you, Pickles, that you've run across that you can kind of
I
recall?
mean, I've had a lot of like disconnects, crash errors, and stuff like that. I would like to see an actual kind of reason for a bunch of these crashes,
Yeah.
because just stuff like that, and then disconnect features sometimes working, sometimes not. Like, I'd like to see a more reliable reconnect feature at least, or something that at least kind of just gives me the SR back, doesn't penalize me for disconnecting from a game, or
Yeah.
I mean, because really, in all honesty, I haven't run into that many cheaters. Um, but I would like to see if like you were killed by a cheater in a lobby, in like a ranked lobby. I'd like to see kind of like an SR forgiveness if you less, if you lost SR or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like going negative in a game where like uh even if I'm just sitting at like negative 50 SR right when I start,
Definitely. Yeah.
and even that just kind of sucks. But I couldn't even imagine like the top 250 minus like what 135, or I think it was like 100 or something like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't even
That's
imagine
insane.
losing like 100 SR right off the bat just because this dude decided to
Ooh.
cheat in a whatever lobby. And the top 250 aren't just getting like the crimson and diamond lobbies.
Yeah.
No, I mean they're getting some bronze people in there. So I mean,
You're absolutely right on that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
yeah.
I would like
That's
to see SR forgiveness for cheater lobbies,
yeah. That's
especially when they ban
rubber.
the cheater.
Yeah. Ban the cheater. Um. Not only that, but it would also be nice that if you suspect somebody in your lobby of cheating, um, right, that if there is a cheater found later, right, like let's say you report somebody and it takes them like 3 or 4 games to get found as a cheater, that the game will notify you, poof, the person that you, especially in a ranked match, the person that you notified to us as a cheater has been found and caught. And then for them to turn around in that playlist that you were in with that person to give you a bonus of SR, right? It doesn't have to be
Yeah, I can see
much,
that kind of.
right? Like it, even okay, I think it would depend upon how many times that cheater killed you, right? Because if you're in battle royale, right? If you had like let's say 3 encounters with that person, then you should get a bonus of 30 SR,
Yeah, like
right? Cuz that was 3
compensation
opportunities.
or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
that was 3 opportunities that he took SR away from you that you should have been able to make some gains on that, right? So, yeah, that's something that would be nice to see. You're absolutely right on that, Pickles. Um, can you think of anything else?
Not particularly. I haven't had that big of problems with
With
ranked that
cheaters?
much.
Yeah,
Besides, yeah, with cheating and ranked and stuff like that. So
I've run
I
it.
know a lot of people do. I was watching a guy earlier, top 250, just running into like maybe a cheater or cheater or two per game. And he's not like a big
Yeah,
content creator. He only has about 4K subs on YouTube. So it's like, this guy really isn't getting stream sniped. He's not getting a ton of attention, but he's still running into all these like cheaters, and it's like ridiculous.
yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Um, I don't know if I'm running into cheaters specifically when I'm playing ranked multiplayer, but my game does seem to crash quite frequently in a game where I'm doing well, which
Right.
begs the question, like, am I going against somebody who's spoofing my account somehow with some other tool that we haven't talked about? Because I don't know about you, but it's kind of BS when I'm literally at 240 for hardpoint and we're up like 30 or 40 points and my game crashes. And then not just that, but like, why don't I have an opportunity for a reconnect feature here? Please, people, we need a reconnect feature. If we don't have one
It's like they're
for multiplayer ranked, then you're basically giving cheaters free passes. Not only do they get SR, but then I also get penalized. Like, why am I going to get penalized for somebody else's actions, especially if they're cheating? If they're going to cheat in this game, why am I going to get penalized for that? Right? So like, I don't know. There needs to be. It's really hard, right? And if we don't figure if Call of Duty doesn't figure this problem out soon, right? Um, I I could see cheaters as one of the main reasons that it gets the game gets taken down simply from self implosion.
Yeah.
right? Because if it gets too bad, right, then no legitimate players want to play, right? And if it gets better, then all you're doing at that point when it's getting better is encouraging legitimate players to come back and play. Right? So if this problem gets too bad, it could be the killing point for the game itself, which is unfortunate. I don't know about you, Pickles. I enjoy playing the game at the level that we play it at. It's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
fun. And I would really hate to see it go bye bye again for the last, 9 months of this COD's life cycle. It would be nice if
Yeah. I mean,
we didn't have that
COD being
huge
a
drop
grinder
off.
for that holiday season or however like whenever they decide to like take off time, not update, just like I don't understand how like this huge company can not have a rotation of devs or something like that.
Yeah,
Like if you're gonna take a holiday season, sure, fine, take a holiday season, but have people who are who don't want to have that holiday season off, or
want to be
give
paid but
the
donate.
new guy the holiday season, to like monitor the game, see how it's keep somebody in the office just to keep working on the game a little bit.
Keep
Like
things
it doesn't have to
smooth.
be a whole 2 month break or however long.
Yeah.
Like have them come in
Um
every other week.
or at least
I don't understand how this company can get away with this. Like it's ridiculous.
or at the very least, like, you know, give them alternating holidays. This year you got Christmas,
Yeah,
so you don't get New Year's. This year you got New Year's, so so you don't get Christmas. Vice versa,
yeah.
right?
That's what my company does. Top Golf. That's what Top Golf does. They're
I
like,
feel like
here,
that's what a
give me
majority
a
of
list of
companies
holidays
do.
you want to work from in order of like the holidays you don't want to work in order of importancy, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Now, some people may not get their most requested holiday, but that's just
Yeah.
staffing. Like,
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it also,
you'll get it next year or something like that.
yeah,
It's just
it'll
ridiculous.
encourage you to work for the company for more than a year as well. Because not only that, but like if you didn't get Christmas one year, you're guaranteed Christmas next year, right?
Yeah,
Um, or at least every 3 years, you'll have to work on Christmas or something, right? Like you can have a limited staff on Christmas. You could also open up with, hey, we'd like some volunteers, and if you volunteer, right, then you don't have to come back in for X amount of years, right? I don't know. It's just like what you're saying. It doesn't make sense. Not only that, but if you've got a huge rampant cheater problem and you had to dial back your anti cheat right before the holiday season because it was false banning people over another cheater issue that we ran into a couple months back where, right, like if somebody text chatted you something and that was found in your RAM, then the game would automatically ban you. Like if we're going through all of that and you still haven't figured out how to ramp your anti-cheat back up, then why the hell are you taking holiday season? You don't deserve a holiday season. You fucked up. You messed up.
yeah. Your game sucks. Work on it.
Yeah.
You have a giant player base. You have a giant staff. You
Yeah.
have a staff that doesn't necessarily work. Like,
Like
you probably have a. Go ahead.
if you mess up, fix it. Pickles, at work, if you mess up, you have to fix it, don't you? You don't just get to like skip
Yeah.
over the consequences.
No, I'm paying for some consequences right now, man. I'm out of work.
Yeah. Like how is it that everybody else in the real world application has consequences, but then when it comes to Call of Duty, like they have no real world consequences, and we as a community are still supporting them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like trying to hold a mountain
Ugh.
that's coming down on top of you up.
It's because this Call of Duty is the only game like it right now.
Yep.
That first person kind of almost realistic shooter that doesn't have the player abilities, stuff like that. It's straight up. You have your guns. You have gun skill. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, no special abilities, none of that extra.
And we keep coming back
stuff.
to it because it's a simple game that doesn't require a ton of brain power. Like, oh, I need to save up for my ability. I need to use this, this armor. Like, I need to do all this stuff. And then Call of Duty's over here like, okay, yeah, just run around and shoot people.
Yeah, arcade shooter style.
You're good.
Yeah. Absolutely right, bro. Preach it. Like, and then games that do try and like claim that they're the COD killer, they always just seem to mess it up. Like X Defiant. They went and said that they were the COD killer, but they had a few extra things that was outside of the realm of Call of Duty. Like you actually had abilities. Bro, don't claim you're the Call of Duty killer if you're gonna allow us to have abilities. Please. Like, I don't know. That was one thing that irked me, is the fact that, like, yeah, the game felt like Call of Duty. It played like Call of Duty, but it had just a few things to try and make you remember it over Call of Duty, and you're just like, nah, I'm not falling for it.
Yeah, like if you're gonna be like the next Call of Duty, just be Call of Duty. Just be similar to Call of Duty,
Yeah,
but have a good staff. Keep your game updated. Have an anti-cheat.
a good one.
That's it.
Yep. You're absolutely right, bro.
And people may not necessarily flock to it, but you'll have a decent player base of probably dedicated players.
Yeah. Add in
Because in all reality, I don't think anything's going to kill COD because of just the franchise and how big it is and just kind of how dedicated a player base is.
No, they won't.
Because the COD player base is a resilient bunch. They do not care. Crappy game or not, they're here for it.
You will not kill Call of Duty overnight. However, if you get your foot in the door, you could take them out in time. Right? And that's what people
Oh yeah.
That's what people don't understand when a game comes in and goes, "I'm the Call of Duty killer." I'm like, "Yeah, we've heard that before."
Yeah.
Do you look like Call of
Good
Duty?
luck for your 4 months.
Do you play like Call of Duty? And then not just that, but add cool things that Call of Duty should do but doesn't. Here's an example. A trick shot in a final kill cam and want to save it, the game should give you a button that allows you to save your final kill cam that you think is really cool. That immediately downloads to a cloud server that you have access to. Oh my gosh, bro. That is not very hard to make. It is kind of like a cut, print, send it out type of deal. But that's something small that you can do, that you can add to the game, that would have a Call of Duty fan go, wow, if it plays like Call of Duty, it is like Call of Duty, but you've got a few extra features that people would enjoy. There you go. Now you're taking Call of Duty down in the next 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Just keep it simple, stupid. Right? Like, just keep it simple. Simplicity.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Pickles, but I'm ready to kind of get some clips in here really quick. Give the lowdown for next week, and then kind of wrap things up. Or answer any questions that some viewers might have for us while we're waiting. If not, I'll come up with some questions. All right. So this first one is Daddy Gets Humbled. I think you remember watching this, Pickles. This was the 3-piece I got in ranked, as that dude tried to sideswipe me, but I don't know what he was doing. So here we go.
That's like my calling card. Best play, let's go. Yes, you guys get to see it, bro.
Oh yeah.
Watch this. Daddy just got daddy, bro. Oh!
By the way, let's just take a quick note here. If you look up here, what do you see? What do you see me have there? I got my baby on the chest. Baby is watching me play Call of Duty. Well, Baby's actually sleeping, so Baby's not watching. Can't hear it. But Baby is on the chest, and I am in rank.
Oh, you guys like my calling card? Best play, let's go.
Right.
Yes, yes,
Super easy to take that dude.
you
out.
guys
I
get
don't
to
know what
see
he
it.
was doing.
bro.
Oh, yeah.
Watch this.
Then his teammate over here, I take him out. And I'm going to be honest, this person came in and started shooting me before I started shooting them. I don't know how I won this.
Daddy just got dead.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know how I won that one. All right, moving on to the next one. This one is the hostage multi-kill. This one was pretty sweet. I'll let you guys figure it out for yourself.
One point eliminated. Exemplary, Crimson. Do it again.
Oh,
Go home.
do we get to watch this? That was fantastic, bro. Oh, yes, look at it. I took him hostage, bro, and I killed everybody in that. There was 3 people in that van, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of fantastic. I took somebody hostage, and then I killed both of his friends. And if I remember right, this was a, we were playing Search and Destroy. So I took out half the team in like 5 seconds. Insane. Pretty sweet, pretty cool. So without further ado, does anybody have any questions that we can ask as we move into the section of our Operation COD Talk, where we go on and ask a bot scraping?
What are we expecting out of season 2?
Ooh, we want to
Like, I don't know if we've seen the season. I don't know if we have a season 2 roadmap yet. Kind of like what we're.
Yeah, we haven't. They
what we're
haven't
looking at.
dropped. They haven't dropped a season 2. So you want to find out what the community is kind of saying about their. What they
Yeah,
believe
even if
season
they've
2?
like. Yeah, well, like, what's going on with season 2? Like, wait, what are we getting here? If they're taking this whole Christmas off,
Yeah.
I'm hoping they drop a bomb season 2. You know.
What does the community? Sorry. What does the community believe? Season 2, Black Ops 6 will look like. Because I don't believe they've dropped the roadmap yet. I believe they're not going to drop the roadmap until like late January.
Yeah.
So Perplexity is a web scraping bot that goes on and specifically attempts to find what it is that we're asking it. And here we go. It's brought us back with something that's probably been generated by the community. So this is what is not considered factual based. This is what the community is talking about specifically. So it went online, it went to different community forums, and it pulled all of this information, and then it gathered what we were looking for, and now it's giving us that quarry. So the community expects Season 2 of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to bring a variety of new content, including weapons, maps, operators, and game modes. They also anticipate improvements to the Ricochet anti-cheat system, particularly in ranked play. That'll be interesting to kind of talk about a little bit. There's a lot of excitement for the Zombies mode, with hope of a new DLC and continued expansion. A new Zombies map, Citadel des Morts, is already confirmed for mid-season release, which we've seen. The community appreciates Treyarch's efforts to engage with fans and return to classic elements like traditional Zombies experiences. They also hope for balance changes, especially in Zombies, to make their higher rounds more manageable. That is true. You should not be doing 4 to 6 hours per round as you get up to the higher rounds. Overall, the community is eager for new content, improved anti-cheat measures, and continued support for beloved game modes like Zombies, while also hoping for balance improvements to enhance overall gaming experience. Which makes sense. I feel like that's what the community is mainly going to ask for, is fix your anti-cheat system for ranked play. If it's going to be in pubs, don't really care, right? Like, I expect if I'm going to run into a cheater, it's going to be in pubs. But if I'm in ranked, put some extra measures up, please. Please.
Make it solid all around. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to run into a cheater, period.
I don't want to run into a cheater, period. I can agree with you on that. But if we had an extra layer of protection for ranked, even the fact that like the server won't crash. Yeah?
Dedicated servers.
Oh, dedicated servers would be amazing.
Yeah, nice dedicated ranked servers. No, that'd be great.
Yeah, ones that have some
Because I
extra
can't tell you how
measures.
many times that like ranked has gotten like some of the servers have gotten overloaded at the peak time, and like everything is just crashing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely right.
It's because they just don't have the server measures. They don't have updated servers. The server hertz are too low. The servers are too small for their player base at peak time. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna ask whether or not Activision has released anything on a season 2 roadmap. Only because it would be nice to know whether or not that's dropped, but it probably hasn't. An official roadmap for Black Ops Season 2 is expected to be released a few days before the season starts, which is scheduled for Tuesday, January 28th. This roadmap will provide a comprehensive overview of all the content and features players can expect. Right. So probably I would say probably about January 21st is when we should expect or start looking for a roadmap to Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Right? So, yeah. I know you picked our theme for this week. Next week is going to be the new year. We're probably not going to have any updates for any of the new season stuff. However, there will probably be a lot of new glitches that people run into and encounter. And I guess we could try and talk and break it down a little bit too. That actually might be fun to do for a podcast. Is to locate a few different ranks, players that are in different ranks, and just kind of talk about what it means to be in each rank. You feel like that would be a great podcast?
Yeah, maybe you trying to. Yeah. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I dig that.
Like if you're, we'll just break it down really quick. BR, if you're in bronze, basically that's where you start, unless it's a different season and you've already worked your way up. But if you're in bronze, basically we're saying it's only a matter of time before you get to silver, right? If you're in silver, you should have these X skills. If you're in gold, you're kind of moving out of that fundamental and kind of more into some dynamic skills. And then as you hit plat, you're kind of hitting the average player base. As you go into diamond, now you're going from some dynamic skills to mastering skills. As you head into crimson after that?
Crimson?
Yeah,
Yep.
as you head into crimson, the skills that you have mastered, you're now forming a specific team. If you're in crimson and you don't have a team and you're doing it solo, you're kind of badass, not gonna lie. But if you're in crimson, you're now taking the skills you've mastered individually, and now you're trying to master team skills. And then as you hit iridescent and top 250, you're kind of separating yourself from the rest of the teams and the rest of basically the player base in Call of Duty, and you're basically telling yourself that you want to go semi-pro and pro in the game, I believe is kind of where that's going. So that's where you showcase your skills to the world at that point. Do you agree with that?
Almost everything.
Almost everything. Okay, I kind of took that a little farther than I thought I would, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I feel like you got most of that pretty spot on. I feel like you develop team skills and stuff between plat and diamond, really trying to iron out your team.
Yes.
at Diamond.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have
And
to have
by
a good
Crimson,
team. Yeah.
you guys are past the fundamentals of team skills. You're building. You're up there in team skills.
Yeah.
Now iridescent. Iridescent. You're solid. You're a solid team. You're putting together. You know those are your two guys. That's the squad you run ranked with. You don't mess around with anybody else on ranked.
Yeah.
You're dedicated to that.
Yep. Yep. That's your team.
Iridescent past that. That's you have no life. Go touch grass, guy. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, you're pretty much showcasing your skills to the world at that point, right?
Yeah.
If you're in the top 250 and you aren't streaming, you probably should be streaming. Like that's pretty much what you're saying at that point. Like you've dedicated your life to Call of Duty if you're hitting that
Yeah.
kind of platform. So, and you're probably making money off the game somehow, some way. You can do it in the other levels as well. Like you and me have proven that you don't have to be top 250 to make money in Call of Duty. But
Yeah.
we're kind of a special case somehow. I don't know how, but we are a special case. Yeah. So without further ado, we talked about a lot today. We went over the news. That news kind of also was the meat of our discussion, and the cheaters desperately in need of an update. Call of Duty feels like it's at that slope. It's at that precipice where we could go up or we could go down. If we go down, it's going to be another tough, difficult year. If we, however, turn things around and go up, it could definitely mean a lot for everybody in the Call of Duty community. So definitely, everybody, we should be keeping an eye on that. We should take time to use our time as a voting system. So if we're going to put an hour into Call of Duty, that's us saying we want Call of Duty to be successful. Or if we choose not to put that hour in, then we are voting against Call of Duty at that time, and we're telling them they need to make changes. So keep that in mind as you push forward, grabbing your loadouts and hitting the playing field. Without further ado, this is